Yeah, I know. I was answering a question from our coordinating producer, VNA Moreno.
Howdy. Welcome on into the pre-show before the free show. When someone forgot that when mics are on, you can't be blabbing during a video.
Okay, well, let's blame VNA. Come here.
I waited until 4 seconds left on the thing, and you people messed it all up.
Look, everybody, it's the producer of Tep and Step, VNA Moreno. Hi, VNA.
Hi, VNA.
She was working the cameras, and you were asking me some what were you asking me?
I was asking if I don't think that's on.
No, it's fine. You can just go ahead.
I was asking if
there you go.
I don't know if you guys can hear me.
Yeah, I got you
I
on.
was asking him if he was doing headlines.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's Thursday. We never do headlines on Thursday.
I've never been here.
I like how you're just squatting to the camera.
Who needs a chair?
Yeah, exactly right. We can do an interview segment with VNA Moreno. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Let me ask you a question. As our resident, we're the two resident. We're two of a couple of the resident Catholics here. How are we feeling?
Oh yeah, sorry
about
the Pope.
Tough week for the.
It was cool. He got to do his last thing on Easter though.
He did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough week for the the dominant force in all of religion.
Moment of silence for 1 second.
Okay, thank you. Very nice. I did ask you, I want you to tell me this story because I asked you on Monday. I said, let me ask you a question just randomly. I said, what did you have for dinner last night? This was on Monday.
Oh, okay. So my grandmother's in town.
Let's go.
And
what do you call your grandmother?
Abuelita.
Okay.
Yes, abuelita. She made guiso with beef. So it was like a beef stew. And it was very spicy. And I went to the gym after work. So I got home at around like 8 and I was very hungry. So I went to the kitchen, made myself a nice hot plate. And my mother and my grandma, we have a little shrine, as every Mexican household does, a little shrine. To
the Virgin Mary.
The Virgin Mary. And they were like, let's pray the rosary. And they prayed out loud. And so I was trying to be very quiet because, I was just trying to be very quiet.
Not trying to mess up the rosary here.
Yeah.
Because, and the food was spicy. And so I was eating and I was like, I was huffing and puffing. I like, and I just hear in the back like rega por nosotros, rega por. I'm like,
And she's over here and just like,
I don't know.
I told you
because
this.
you don't like spice. Let's make that clear too.
I can't do it that as well as my other friends can, but and my family.
I told you this. I want to have that literal exact experience. Like I want to come over to your house after a workout.
I want Abuelita to be over there praying the rosary for me,
like out loud.
and I'm just
housing.
Well, you said there was fideo too, right?
Yes, fideo was on the side. So.
Okay,
God, it's so
this
good.
is an honest question. How often does your house just smell awesome?
Oh,
It smells great.
gotta be all the time.
Smells great. Only time. So there's dish called menudo.
Mm-hmm.
That I know maybe if Steph is in there, he'd have a nice plate of that. But in the process of making it,
It does smell bad.
it does smell bad,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't like it. So, but
Okay.
yeah.
That's the only thing. Anything else going on in your world?
Filming, producer stuff. Yeah. Sorry.
Doesn't she sound like she loves her job, folks?
Well, with a boss,
really
with a
do.
boss like you've got, woof.
I've also been like
That chick
squatting.
is the worst.
Yeah. So thanks for.
This is your workout for the day.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
Who needs the gym
It's
when
hot
you
in
have
here.
Texas football today?
It is. It's warm in here, but it's very cold in the office.
It is. Yeah.
I've got a personal beef with our HVAC system in this office. I could go on for a long time about that, but if you are good at working on HVAC systems, please come by our office.
My brother's father-in-law. So like my father-in-law.
Brother's father-in-law.
Father-in-law.
Yeah. So
Your sister-in-law's
You heard
dad.
it here
Right, my sister-in-law's dad.
first.
My father-in-law.
That's too many.
He
You only need one set of in-laws, man.
really do.
But he works in HVAC.
Oh, well,
So I can
why?
maybe give him.
Okay, can he not come fix it?
I can give him a call. You know.
Apparently, we've had people come fix it.
It's tough. It's tough.
Skeptical.
Last question for VNA Moreno.
Better make it a heater.
Like a heater.
Yeah.
What's
Put her on trial.
what's your deal?
First off, how dare you?
How dare you?
What do you mean?
No, it's not. How are we going with getting Adam Scott to marry you?
Adam Scott. Oh.
So she watched Severance.
Severance.
And then she
Yes.
fell down an Adam Scott rabbit hole.
I
Isn't there a
did.
golfer named Adam Scott?
Yes, that's who I thought you were talking about.
Oh. Golfer brain.
It's me, Mr. Masters.
Okay, Adam Scott.
Adam
Severance?
Scott. Yes. No, she's gonna look.
He's the main guy.
Oh no, that's isn't he in Parks and
yeah, he's
Rec?
Ben.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
Ben.
yeah,
yeah,
Parks and
yeah.
Recreation.
No.
Yeah, no, okay. She's that.
Okay.
You don't get it. There's just like,
You don't get
you
it.
have to watch.
I'm on black.
Severance.
Why am I on trial?
No,
what did I do?
You don't get it. He's a basic white boy.
Yeah, like what did I do? Let's see. I bet Adam Scott, the golfer, has to be better looking than
Okay.
him.
Oh, wow.
No,
Okay,
but-
here we go.
I knew this was gonna happen. She was.
This is
gonna
what
look
happens
up-
when we don't plan a pre-show. We're just like, hey, VNA, come on over.
Adam Scott, the golfer, is significantly better looking than Adam Scott from Severance.
Okay, listen.
That is
I
a
knew
nerdy
this
white
was gonna
dude.
happen. She was gonna look him up, and then it's not the most pleasant. But there's
Well, I don't. Okay, no, finish that sentence.
there is aura behind this. There is lore that must be explored behind Adam Scott.
So you're more into.
I
what-
need you to watch the Severance.
So you're a personality person because
Yeah.
clearly
So really,
it's not looks.
Really, you're more into Mark Scout than you are
Yeah.
Adam Scott.
Mark Scout,
Okay,
and
let me
then
look
he
this one
made
up.
Mark Scout made Adam Scott hot.
Okay. Mark Scout or Mark S?
Severance.
Actually, Mark.
Oh,
S.
that's his name. Okay.
Yeah.
No, wait, but Mark Scout in that one episode of the very beautiful episode.
Oh, the flashback episode.
Yes, the flashback episode. Oh,
VNA Moreno, everybody.
Now I feel like I have to watch the show because I just can't see.
Follow
I
her,
don't
follow her
see
on
the lore.
Instagram at VNA Moreno.
no, I'm private.
Hit the-
Twitter.
Hit the theme expo. Yes, y'all. From the Dave Campbell's Texas Football Mothership here in beautiful Lewisville, Texas, it is Texas Football Today, a show.
Yeah.
My name's Greg Tupper, the editor-in-chief of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com. Thank you for spending part of your day with us. Whether you're watching us live at TexasFootball.com, on Facebook, on YouTube, on Twitter, all the places, or you're listening to us on the podcast, which you can subscribe to on the podcast vendor of your choice. Either way, thank you for doing your part to support your local, mediocre internet show. I am sitting over there at the helm today, making noise.
Excuse me for being excited to broadcast a show to our loyal viewers.
She's the Duchess of the Dorks. She cares about you more than I do. She's Ashley Pickle.
Hi, friends. Someone's got to bring some energy in
I'm
here.
very energetic today.
I'm not. I'm just trying to push myself to be.
I get it. Nah, you got to power through. Today is Thursday, April 24th, 2025. 217 days till Thanksgiving. Happy birthday to Kelly Clarkson. Kelly Clarkson.
Nice.
Birthday on April 24th. It is episode 1854. Thank you. On today's show, folks, what we're going to do one day is like freeze the episode number where it's just like going to be that episode for like 6 weeks.
That rocks.
Anyway.
We are getting dangerously close to 2,000 now that I look at that number.
Yeah, but I was thinking about this, but we only do two with 2 shows a week. We won't get there till 2026.
Ah, sick. That just means I don't have to plan a mega show until 2026.
I got bad news for you. You know what October is?
The 10-year anniversary.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we keep having milestones?
Something big and dumb then. On today's show, folks, it's Thursday, which means it's Math Tuesday.
Yeah.
We are going to look at, in the spirit of the recently finished Texas High School Football Stadium Challenge on TexasFootball.com, I did some digging on, thanks to our friends at Texas Bob, on some notable Texas High School Football Stadium.
Texas Bob.
Well, Matt helps too.
Okay.
Bob and Matt. Anyway, Texas Matt.
Ooh, the fact that you called him Matt 3 times in a row is wild.
True. All that's to say, we're going to talk about Texas high school stadiums, the most remarkable ones in Texas high school football from a variety of measures. And then back half the show, we're going to be joined by the new head coach of the Austin High Maroons. Coach Jason Cecil will join us, being promoted from within, but he's a guy who knows the head coaching world pretty well after a good tenure at Austin McCallum and then at Pflugerville Connolly. So we will hear from Coach Jason Cecil coming up here at the back half of the program. If you stick around with us, do we have first word through the door?
We sure do. And a shout out. First off, jersey number 69, Matthew Laugood and Ed McElroy. But shout out to jersey number 69 because they commented again and said, just found out yesterday, Hutto is now under the Texan Live umbrella.
How about that?
And I'm freaking thrilled about that. Me too. Welcome Hutto to the Dave Campbell's Texan Live family. We'll get to broadcast the Hippo games this upcoming year. Is that not so exciting?
That's right. We get Eli Ball coming to Texan Live.
Yeah, so I was real pumped about that.
You know what it is? Because Eli Reinhardt, the new head coach at Hutto, was the offensive coordinator for North Crowley.
Correct.
So we're just following Eli Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Because North Crowley is a Texan Live school. So.
Well, he's worth the price of admission.
Join Death Row.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Do you know how long it's been since I've done this thing that we're about to do? I am jacked up. I haven't done it since I've been back.
It's Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
It's Math Tuesday.
Let's go.
Here on Texas Football Today, where we dive inside the numbers on Texas high school football. And we've done a lot of stat digging about players, about coaches. One of the things that I want to do, inspired by what we announced on Monday, which was the winner of the 2025 TexasFootball.com Texas High School Ball Stadium Challenge, which was won by the Tomato Bowl in Jacksonville. I wanted to take a look at Texas high school football stadiums. And I think that's one of the things, it's kind of the doorstep, I think, that gets people into Texas high school football. Because every year, about 8 times a year, social media goes nuts because of some post about a stadium in Texas. And I think it's easy for us as people who swim in the soup to get inured to it and just be like, no, yeah, I mean, it just is what it is. I think it's really important that we don't take for granted how good we have it and how wild it is that these stadiums exist.
Yeah.
Like that, you take a look across Texas high school football, and even the stadiums that I think most people would call like an average middle of the road stadium, in almost every other state, that would be among the nicest stadiums and biggest stadiums in the state.
I think it always hits me when I see photos of other states playing their state championship games, and they're playing at a stadium that I would consider like that would be a fairly like rundown stadium in the state of Texas, and for them it's where their state championships are.
Okay, so I want to give you an example, okay? And let's use one that is near and dear to your heart. Llano Stadium.
Yeah.
Okay? Llano Stadium, by Texas high school football standards, is like, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a normal high school football stadium.
Seats about 3,500 people. Really nice turf. It's built in 1971. Everything about Llano Stadium is like, yeah, it's pretty nice.
Yep.
If you dropped Llano Stadium into Missouri,
oh, they'd be like, welcome to Jerry World, basically.
it would be the most crazy. That would be the craziest thing they've seen in quite some time, and that I think is something worth celebrating and remembering about how good we have it. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to go to one of my very favorite websites on the internet, TexasBob.com, run by a friend Bob McSpadden, which has the Texas high school football stadium database. The database. Like, we love TexasFootball.com, and this was years ago. This is just how being the editor-in-chief works. I just knew we were beat by Texas Bob. It's like, we could try to compete with him, but we like Bob, and like, why? So we just partnered with him, and now we like link back to TexasBob.com. All that to say, it is the Texas high school football stadium resource of record. And so I want to measure Texas high school football stadiums and the most remarkable ones in two different ways. And the first way I want to do it is the oldest, because we talked about Jacksonville. Jacksonville was built the Tomato Bowl was built in 1940. So it got me thinking about the oldest Texas high school ball stadiums. And I want to be clear that these are stadiums that are still in use, that they are still home fields for these places. And there may be renovations that we'll talk about, but these are the oldest Texas high school football stadiums. And the oldest one is probably not one that you would think of. In fact, I think a couple of them are going to be surprising. Lang Field in San Antonio, which is home to the Yellow Jackets of San Antonio St. Anthony Catholic. Lang Field in San Antonio was built in 1910, and seats just it's about adjacent to Trinity University. St. Anthony plays there. It seats about 750, but it has been around since 1910. Right behind it, in 1915, Legion Stadium in Marlin.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Been around since 1915. Now, they've poured a bunch of resources into it, and they've renovated it, but it's on the same site. It's the same, like, bones of the stadium. And so Legion Stadium is the second oldest stadium in Texas. Third, a favorite of ours, R.R. Jones Stadium in El Paso.
I am going to put this on wax, the GOAT.
1916. It's everything a Texas high school football stadium should be. It's big. It's like beautiful.
It feels historic.
It's unique.
It's cool enough to look back up and see obviously the school right there. It's even cooler to look the other way and see all of El Paso and Juarez.
Next up, out east, Bruce Field in Athens, built in 1922. Coyote Field in Richland Springs. They've been playing there since 1925. One that I had actually, this is true, I had never heard of, but Shaw Field in LaForce. Shaw Field is one of the finest six-man football stadiums or fields in the Panhandle, and they've been playing there since 1927. Good field house out there in LaForce, up there in the Panhandle. And then Unicorn Stadium, also opened in 1927, there in New Braunfels. So those are the oldest stadiums in Texas high school football. And
over 100 years old is wild.
Yeah, exactly right. It is really, really wild. And so let's see. Let me do, if you're interested, Next up would be like Lockney, opened in 1928. Hondo, Berry Field in Hondo, 1928. Hearn, Woodfield opened in 1929. So did Bart Cone Field in Fort Davis, and Jackson Field in Alpine also opened in 1929. Okay, so the oldest stadiums in Texas high school football, but of course, old is part of the allure. But when people think of Texas high school football, they think big, and so these are the biggest stadiums in Texas high school football by capacity. Okay, now I want to be clear. Of course, AT&T Stadium hosts the high school football games. That is, in my view, not a high school football stadium.
No, that is the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
That is the home.
Be honest about it.
Exactly right. And there are other places. For example, I'm not including Toyota Stadium in Frisco, which seats a little more than 20,000.
Okay.
Even though that is a home field for some teams, in my opinion, that is not a high school football stadium.
Yeah, I think that you could say that if when it was built the intention was not for it to be high school, then it really shouldn't count. Like you could also count NRG,
yes,
or the Alamo Dome, or the list goes on and on.
DKR even, The biggest in the state is Happy State Bank Stadium in Canyon. Seats 20,000. I need to get up there. I heard it's awesome.
That's why they host so many playoff games.
Absolutely. Next up, one of my very personal favorites, Mesquite Memorial Stadium, with the big old radio tower in the end zone. Seats 19,400. We do not appreciate how big that stinking thing is.
No,
huge.
it's massive.
And sometimes, especially playoff games, that thing gets rocking. The Rock Pile in San Antonio seats 19,000 at Alamo Stadium. Another one underrated, Farrington Field in Fort Worth is huge. 18,300. Right behind it, Eagle Stadium in Allen. I think that's not surprising. That made headlines when it opened. It seats 18,000. It just edged out Ratliff Stadium, the historic Ratliff Stadium in Odessa, which seats 17,931. San Angelo Stadium in San Angelo seats 17,500. And then down another kind of underrated one, Stallworth Stadium in Baytown seats 16,500. That is a big, big stadium down there on the bay there at Stallworth Stadium. So,
you know what's shocking to me about that list? None of the Houston stadiums are on there.
Right.
That's crazy because I would say that there is probably a larger population of really nice big stadiums in Houston than anywhere else. And the fact that none of those are on there is crazy.
Do you know what you end up seeing? So, like, for example, I'll give you an example. Legacy Stadium in Katy is big.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Very big.
Real big. Seats 12,000. Okay? Seats 12,000. The Barry Center, right? Cy-Fair FCU Stadium. Let's see. Let me find. I'm searching Texas. It seats 11,000.
I would say 15. Yeah, that's crazy.
Huge. But I think Houston has a ton of them that are in that 12,000 range. Children's Health Stadium in Prosper, 12,000. McKinney ISD Stadium is around that range as well. That's really the sweet spot, and it feels big.
I think a lot of those stadiums that you just listed too, a lot of the allure there is like they're very new. They've got really nice, like the press boxes are massive, like all of that kind of stuff. So I think that adds to the stadium allure because they're really tall and they've got these 3-4 story press boxes.
Another perfect example is like Pridgeon Stadium in Cy-Fair, which is massive, seats 12,000, right? It's kind of wild that we're talking about 12,000 as being average, but like that's kind of that sweet spot I found for those big stadiums is 12,000. So anyway, there you have it. We
love talking about stadiums, man.
Love stadiums. Love stadiums. A look at some of the most remarkable Texas football stadiums on Math Tuesday.
Math Tuesday.
We are at Texas Football today. We're here Mondays and Thursdays on TexasFootball.com, talking football in the Lone Star State. You can follow us on Twitter at DCTF, like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell's, and of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. I want to invite you. This is an exclusive invitation just for you to go to TexasFootball.com/subscribe.
Do it.
Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber. Get the 2025 summer edition of Dave Campbell's Texas Football mailed to you directly. It'll just show up on your doorstep. You don't got to run around looking for it. It'll show up on your doorstep. And you can hear Dave Campbell's Texan Live. That's right. Direct, also speaking direct to you, direct on your phone. Like tonight, you can watch playoff softball. Next week, you can watch playoff baseball. You can watch regular season baseball, I bet, tonight.
Yes.
Or tonight or tomorrow. Definitely tomorrow. right? Friday's a big baseball night. That's probably the last weekend of the year.
It's 24/7. It doesn't stop. Just tune in and Texan Live, and I promise you there's games going on.
There's stuff going on, like 1,900 live events as part of your Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscription. Become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football subscriber at texasfootball.com/subscribe. Coming up here in just a moment, we'll talk with the new head coach of the Austin High Maroons, Coach Jason Cecil, will join us live. But first, a word from these valued partners.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Potter, Executive Director of Be Well Texas. Too many people are struggling alone these days, and alcohol and drug deaths are increasing. We started Be Well Texas to offer high-quality, science-based addiction treatment and recovery services anywhere, even at home. We provide compassionate, caring support virtually or in person. In many cases, there is no cost for treatment if you don't have insurance. Really. Welcome to Be Well Texas. We're glad you're here.
Hey DFW residents, get your grocery essentials in minutes, not hours or days, with Wing Drone Delivery. Forget about last-minute trips to the store when you need things like cereal for breakfast before school, medicine for a cold, or snacks for a movie night. Wing's drones get you quick, no-contact delivery in as fast as 15 minutes. Say goodbye to last-minute grocery runs and say hello to more of your valuable time. Sign up today.
Joined out here by Hayden Gunner at Denton High School. Man, it's a big day for you. You got your decision coming right now.
After a lot of thinking, with the family talking, stressing out.
Let's see exactly where Malik Hawkins is going to be heading.
First off, I want to start by thanking God. Without him, I wouldn't be anything. I wouldn't be blessed with all these opportunities.
Got 5 schools he's choosing between. We're about to find out who it's going to be. Got your teammates, coaches, family, friends surrounding you, so you couldn't have a bigger stage right here to announce it on. So without further ado, we're going to go to the man right here, Kobe Foreman. Who's it going to be?
I will be attending.
I'll be committed to the University of Oklahoma.
University of Texas A&M.
Stanford University.
The University of Oklahoma.
Every legend starts with a vision. For Dave Campbell, that vision was clear. Tell the story of Texas football like never before. In 1960, he built something no one had before, a magazine that became the Bible of Texas football. Coaches, players, and fans didn't just read it, they lived by it. His words shaped the game. His vision built a legacy. And his name? It will always be written in the story of Texas football. Dave Campbell's Texas Football, where legends begin.
Back here on Texas Football Today, I'm Greg, that's Ashley, and Pickle, let's go to the hotline, and let's welcome in the new head coach of the Austin High Maroons down there in Austin County, or in the Austin area. We're pleased to be joined by Coach Jason Cecil. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. We appreciate your time. You are taking over the big chair there at Austin High, and I am curious, when you got that call that it was going to be you to succeed Coach Riley. I'm curious what your reaction was.
I was excited. I'd been a head coach, athletic coordinators for 11 years. So before I came here, I was on staff as defensive coordinator. So kind of taking a step back, and that really gave me a little energy and new life, and excited to get the opportunity to do it again.
You were a longtime coach there at Pflugerville Conley. Before that, you were there at Austin McCallum. I'm interested in the transition that you've got to make with the guys in the room, right? With your players who have viewed you as defensive coordinator, now as the head coach. How did you address your guys the first time that you addressed them as their head coach?
Yeah, it was good. I got a great reception for our kids, which obviously made me feel good. But, I've been the defensive coordinator. They know me. We've been, when we go against our offense, we've done pretty well. And so they knew me pretty good. And I just like to have a good time with our kids, period. So I talk to our offensive guys constantly, even though I'm on the defensive side, and you're recruiting them constantly. Like, hey, you probably could play some corner for us. But so it was well received, and really the transition's been smooth and easy.
You are taking over a program, a playoff team a year ago. Obviously have high hopes this year. When you take a look at this roster for the Maroons that you're taking over, what excites you about this particular group of guys?
I think we're losing a great group of guys. I will say that. Those guys help us get to the playoffs. But we've got some good young talent. We've got some talent at receiver. We've got to find ways to get the ball in their hands a little bit more. Really like our young quarterbacks that are coming in for us. I think those guys got a chance. We got really two of them that I love that have different skill sets, and we're looking for ways to use them both. And then we've got some experience in the D-line. Our defensive tackle, I think, should be the strength for us. And we're looking for help in the secondary, but have had some guys come back to the program that I think are going to serve us well in that role.
Talking with Jason Cecil, head coach of the Austin High Maroons here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TFToday. Coach, I am interested also in the transition from the defensive coordinator position to the head coach as it pertains to your involvement. And you mentioned you're always recruiting the offensive guys to come play a little bit of defense. You're a guy who's been defense coordinator a lot of places. You're a defense coordinator at Round Rock Stony Point when they were really cooking in the earlier part of the last decade. I am interested in how you are going to, I guess the word would be maybe step away from the nuts and bolts on the defensive side. You got a great defense coordinator there in Rocky Clark. I'm curious how that dynamic is going to work there.
Yeah, that's been good. Rocky came along. He's been with me since Stony Point days and been my coordinator at McCallum and at Stony Point and at Conley. So that part's been easy. He can step right in. I've been more hands-off right now probably than ever, just trying we've got a new offense coordinator, John Brooks, and so I'm spending a lot more time on that side of the ball, watching our O-line, things of that nature. But that piece has made it easy, just having Rocky along and him knowing what we do and how I operate. And I'm really, probably for the first time in a long time, even as a head coach in the past, I coached a position, and right now I'm not doing that. I'm just trying to evaluate everything we're doing and find ways to do it better.
You mentioned the quarterback position. I know there's a couple of guys you're excited about there. You are going to be kind of looking at what you guys are going to bring back. You graduate relatively heavy, but you're going to have some young guys. Do you feel like there is this younger group, especially junior class? How much are they going to need to step up for you guys to get where you guys want to go?
Yeah, they're going to have to step up a lot. I mean, like I said, we were a really senior-heavy team, and as far as players and leadership role, so we've worked a lot on that just in the short time I've been in charge of building some leadership skills with these kids. But those guys are going to have to play now, and a lot of them have played. We've got Reed Childers at running back has done a good job for us. Enzo Hoopman at receiver, a guy that averaged, I think about 17 yards per catch. We got to get the ball in his hands a little more. Logan Davis, same thing, probably one of our best athletes. We got to find ways to get all those guys more involved and get the ball in their hands.
Jason Cecil, head coach of the Austin High Maroons, joining us here. Coach, the good thing is that it's not like your district is all that tough. There in District 26-6A, all you're dealing with is Lake Travis and Westlake and Dripping Springs and Bowie and all those outstanding football teams. To be the man, you got to beat the man. When you take a look at District 26-6A as a coach, I'm curious what you see.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one of the top 6A districts in the state. We're at the bottom end of it numbers wise. I think we were about 25 or less kids over the number last time, so we're a small group. So what we're trying to do right now is maximize our talent. We're working some crossover where we're going to use some kids both ways, which is not something we've done in the past, and just trying to find ways to do that efficiently and do it well. So that's kind of our focus right now, is developing depth within the program, because that's what we've lacked, honestly. We can hang in with people for a little while, but we just get wore down with our low numbers. So we're going to try to develop a little depth, playing a few guys both ways in some special situations.
Now, finally, Coach, I'm calling you Coach. I know the folks around the field house call you Coach, but I am curious of what one person calls you. Case, your grandson Case. I'm always curious from this perspective, because football coaches, big burly guys until they get around their grandkids, and then you're toast. What is your grandpa name?
Grumpy.
Grumpy.
Yeah. So I I came home, I guess, grumpy one day, and my daughter said that he's grumpy, and that's what he started calling me. So I've been grumpy ever since.
That's awesome.
It's probably the only time you like being called grumpy, though, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I love that kid. He's brought a lot of joy to our family and keeps me young.
He's Jason Cecil. He's the new head coach of the Austin High Maroons. Only one person can call him grumpy. We appreciate your time, Coach. Congratulations again on the new gig, and looking forward to seeing what you guys do in the fall.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
There he goes. Jason Cecil, head coach of the Austin High Maroons. That question was going to go one of two ways. He was either going to go real, boring. He's going to be like,
Grandpa.
yeah, I'm Gramps
Yeah.
or Grandpa or something like that. Or it's going to go grumpy.
My uncle is now a grandpa, and he goes by Grumpus.
Grumpus?
Yeah, so that's I think it's almost budding. Maybe one day you'll be a grumpy.
Craig Way, our friend Craig Way, you know his grandpa name?
Yeah, oh gosh, Aaron Hardigan says it all the time.
Boompaw,
yeah.
Boompaw.
That's sick.
Let's see.
My mom and dad have already picked theirs. When I got a cat, they started doing it. Well, my mom decided Lolly and Pop.
Oh, see, that's great.
Lollipop.
See,
yeah.
My folks are, my dad's Papa Bear, Papa Bear and Dee Dee. And then my wife's folks are Lily and Poppy. And then my niece and nephew, or I'm sorry, my two nieces, they're my in-laws, my wife's, my brother's wife's
the
parents.
Train is off the track. This is the second
it's
time
tough.
that you've talked about your
I love them. Hey,
father,
they're honey.
your sister-in-law's father.
They are honey.
Today.
They are honey and they are pops.
That's
great.
Yeah, that's
pretty good. Honey and
Honey's
pops.
good.
Anyway, but I'd never heard grumpy. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
I like that. We thought that Greg Powers was going to go by Deathblade.
I think that he is in my brain.
Let's go over to Ashley Pickle for America's second favorite segment, Final
Man,
Thoughts.
that took up all my final thoughts, to be honest with you.
Grumpy.
Yeah, I can't top that.
Okay, pretty good.
Why try to top something when it's the best?
That's exactly right. We will be back on Monday.
You can watch stuff on Texan Live.
Yeah, watch
That's
stuff
my
on
final
Texan
thought.
Live. There you go. Go to TexanLive.com. Go watch some stuff.
I'm just excited I got you Math Tuesday. Honestly, that was enough for me.
We're very back. It's going to do it for us. Thanks for spending a little bit of your day with us. Follow us on Twitter at DCTF. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/Dave Campbell's. Follow us on Instagram, Instagram.com/Dave Campbell. And of course, see us at TexasFootball.com. Thanks again to Jason Cecil, head coach of the Austin High Maroons, for being our guest. For Ashley Pickle, I'm Greg Tepper. Vince Young, please get your Player of the Year trophy. We'll see you Monday on Texas Football Today.